Version 2.0 of Star Wars Squadrons is finally out. We covered all of the patch notes in that update in yesterday's video, but there was a lot of changes in version 2.0 that I didn't expect to be in the game so soon. One of those things being leaver penalties, which obviously helps with people staying in games. But today I'm not going to be talking about that. Today I'm actually going to be talking about ranked. As you can tell, the rank 0 bug has been completely fixed, which means now you can reset your rank and redo all your placement games. But for some of those who didn't have the rank 0 bug, they're probably wondering if they should or should not reset their rank. So in today's video, I'm going to be covering everything you need to know about ranked in Star Wars Squadrons. But before I get into it, my quick question of the day is, have you reset your rank yet? I have personally, and I've really enjoyed it. I'll get into it more in detail in this video. But if you haven't, or you have, let me know in the comments down below. I read all of them and try to get back to some of you. And if you have time after this video, myself, Eckhartsladder, Corey Loses, Star Wars Explained, and more were all in this nice little Star Wars Squadrons edit. We put a lot of time into this one. I really love it. So if you have time after this video, definitely check it out. I think you'll find it absolutely funny. But with that out of the way, let's dive right into the video. Okay, so first up, you do have the option to reset ranked. You can do that by going over to the ranked submenu in the main menu, and then you can see in the bottom right of your screen the button you need to press for the reset rank. Now the info graph warns you, are you sure you want to reset your rank? You say yes, but then you also get told that you can only do this once. So once you've reset your rank, there's no going back. So now you know how to reset your rank. The general question is, well, should I? Now personally, I have. I was stuck in Maverick 3 and couldn't go above that as I got the bug too. So I couldn't go above or below Maverick 3 rank. I decided to drop that rank entirely and redo all my placements. Now in yesterday's stream, I played with Corey Loses and Star Wars Explained as I did all of my 10 placement matches in one stream. The results were 8 wins, 2 losses. However, I probably could have turned that 8 wins into 9 if I actually focused properly on one game. And with the 8-2 win-loss ratio, where did that put me? Well, I got placed halfway into Hot Shot 2, so I'm already quite the way in to reach Hot Shot 3. Now, if you are considering that is kind of low considering you won 8 games, let me break it down for you. The games in my placement matches started very easy. Now, I mean that in no disrespect to the people that I was playing against, but myself and Corey were having a much easier time winning those games and carrying the people in our team. However, as games progressed, it got more and more difficult with every win. It's almost like the placement matchmaking knew we were having large successes and we needed to be placed against harder players. The toughest game I had was Game 4. Now, I believe we were against a 5-man pre-made squadron, and they were a certain squadron that were known for playing really well, and unfortunately we did get decimated in that game. However, I was only a 2-man pre-made with Corey Loses. I don't know about the other 3 players on our team, but after that game, the other games were pretty hard actually. It only just started to lighten up when I lost my second game, which was I think 7 games in, and the last 2 games of placement were relatively easy. But I don't think they would have been as easy as they were if I didn't lose the 2 previous games in Game 4 and Game 7. So hopefully that gives you a better idea of how placements will probably work for you. I do recommend getting in with a squadron. Playing on your own does leave you at a much larger risk of how well your teammates are going to play. And as I mentioned in previous videos, I main support and I will not play support if I'm just a 1-man squadron. I don't like leaving the success of the game up to people I don't know. So in that case, I'd most likely play a TIE fighter, an X-Wing, or a bomber, etc. And that being said, playing with Star Wars Explained definitely helped. He was really, really good in those games, and I can tell you right now, there were some games where I felt like I was just performing horribly. Like, it's so weird to be playing Star Wars Squadrons where the players really match to your skill level. At once, where it felt like we were just playing public servers and it would either be a stomp or a little bit of a challenge, this now requires my full focus and concentration now. And honestly, I absolutely love it, but it can scare people by doing their ranks. You can't play so casually in these placement games. You need to treat them with respect. So, as I mentioned, I recommend getting in a 5-man squadron, getting to know how they play via dogfighting, and when you feel comfortable, go into Fleet Battle Ranked. But if you're struggling to find a 5-man squadron, I really recommend our Discord. We have a good chunk of voice channels that can allow 5-man squadrons, and a chat room dedicated to finding the best team for you. So I'll pin the link to the Discord in the pinned comment down below. But again, I highly recommend you do not join a 5-man squadron and then just jump into a placement game. If you don't feel comfortable comfortable, go into dogfighting first, get a gist of how these people play and how they act in voice comms. So, just to reiterate, I was on Maverick 3 before I reset my rank. I did all 10 placement games, I won 8 of the 10, and I landed in Hotshot 2. So that's almost a full rank upgrade. Now, I don't know how easy it will be to rank from there on. I've only done my 10 placement games. I haven't done any more after that. But judging by how placement matches worked, it will likely be that if I'm going against tougher players, I'll get more skill points for winning. And if I lose to a team that is likely not as good as me, I'll probably lose more skill points for it. But no matter how much skill ranking you win or lose, placement matches will always be infinitely more important than any other ranked game after those 10 games. So if it means you have to stay in dogfighting for a little bit longer just to learn your secondary class, then so be it. Another thing I recommend for rank is also learn 2 different types of classes. Do not learn just support and then think you'll be solid. There were plenty of games who wanted to play support in my 10 ranked games. So that meant I could not play support for my friends and I had to do my secondary class. There was also games where I was playing support and I felt like I was not doing enough, so I had to swap out to a more offensive class. So be sure to think of that as well. I was losing the team a lot of morale while not giving enough effectiveness to my team, so I changed classes. And that doesn't necessarily mean I'm bad at support, it was just in that situation I was being an easy target for the enemy team and they were hounding me down because I was a support. And no disrespect to my teammates, in just that game I didn't think I was getting the help I needed. And that is likely because my other teammates were in a tough situation as well. So that's when I needed to swap over to something a bit more useful. So again, to reiterate, learn 2 classes. For me, it's support and fighter. For you, it could be bomber and interceptor. I know Corey plays those 2 classes quite a lot. And for Eck, it's interceptor and a little bit of bomber or fighter. So again, be sure to learn that skill. And if you're an absolute maniac, play all of the classes. Because if you play all of the classes, you'll actually understand all of the components for all of the classes. And once you get that information and you know how all of these components behave in class to class, you'll get a better understanding of the game overall and it makes you a better player. So if you were smart, you were likely to experiment more when the ranked 0 bug was in effect and ranked games didn't really matter. But unfortunately, if you didn't do that, I recommend going into dogfighting and practicing different classes there. Another big tip, which is kind of hard to wrap your head around and actually try and keep it under control, is don't get tilted. When I used to play Team Fortress 2 professionally, that was probably the biggest advice I had when playing the game. For me as a player, it's just very random where I will just tilt on games that really shouldn't tilt me. It's definitely hard to pinpoint why or when it happens. But it's when I build this placebo rivalry with another player and I lose out on that rivalry. It just tilts me out to no degree and my performance is just 10 times worse than it could be. And the worst thing is that once I tilt, there's no coming back. I have to just leave the game and come back to it tomorrow. For some of you, you might have an easier time. You might not even tilt at all and you're actually really casual with games. For some, you might be able to just take an hour or 2 break and then come back into it and you're good. But for me, mentally, I'm just gone. There's no point in me playing anymore. And I'm just going to be letting my entire team down by playing worse and getting angry at them maybe. So learn to identify when you're being tilted and when is a good time to stop playing. For me, if ranked really matters for me, if I lose 2 games in a row, that's it, I'm gone. I do not play again because that 3rd loss could mean way worse for me. One final thing to note, if I did win all 10 of my placement matches, I think the best rank I could have hit was very high Hotshot 3. My theory right now is that there is no one that can go above Hotshot 3. So no matter how well you played in all of those 10 games, no matter if you won all 10 of those ranked games, I strongly believe you can't surpass Hotshot 3. So for anybody that is currently in hero rank right now, I don't recommend resetting your rank. However, I think that is like 0.01% of players. For players that were in hero whilst the 0 ranked bug was still going about, a loss for them could equate like 6 wins, I think. So I'm not surprised that there is very small amounts of people in hero rank. But again, if you are in hero ranked, I don't recommend resetting your rank because I think ranked for you is going to get a lot more easier. And what I mean by that is you're going to go against players that are as good as you, but you won't lose as many points for losing. But that does conclude all of my advice and everything you need to know about ranked in Star Wars Squadrons. Hopefully my experience with what rank I was before, resetting my rank, doing all 10 placements, and then the rank I got afterwards helps you in deciding whether or whether not to reset your rank. And of course, our question of the day, have you reset your rank? I'm interested to know if this video has helped you decided on whether you are or not going to reset your rank. Let me know if this video actually changed your mind on anything. And before you forget, I really recommend our highly edited comedic piece on Star Wars Squadrons. It has myself, Eckhartsladder, Corey Losers, and I think Wasted Space and Star Wars Explained. And of course, we put a ton of effort into that video, and I think you're going to genuinely love it. So a link to that video will be in the pinned comment down below, or in the top right info card. Click that and you'll be able to see it there. But other than that, I have been Charlie, you've been watching EcksToo, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.